So this was a project about memory. We store loads and loads of memories of different experiences that happen to us, and it's important to be able to draw on these experiences in order to inform our actions, for example, doing something creative that we want to do now. But we don't know much about how we control that retrieval of the right memory at the right time. And to some degree, we're able to control it ourselves, but we're also influenced by the cues in the external environment. And so this was an EEG study where we measured brain activity to understand this process better by which people selectively retrieve the right memories. So we gave people a simple task in which they had to study some items either as the object names read aloud or as pictures of objects. And then we gave them two different kinds of test cues, either visual words or images. And so these cues either matched the studied audio stimuli or they matched the pictures, allowing us to manipulate the relationship between the cue and the memory. We then asked people to do a task in which they selectively try to retrieve one of those categories of memory at a time, either the audio items or the pictures, and then we measured their brain activity. And what we were interested in was the degree to which people could selectively retrieve the targeted memories. We looked first at an EEG measure called the left parietal ERP, which is an established measure of recollection. And we found that when the cues matched the targeted memories, people were able to recollect the targeted memories selectively. We got the ERP for the targets, but not the non-targets. And when the cues overlapped the non-targets, we saw ERPs for both. Our second measure, which was a more novel measure, looking at the way that neural patterns from the time that people originally experience events are reinstated later while we remember them, we used that as another measure of selectivity of memory retrieval. And we found that when the cues overlapped the targets again, the reinstatement, just like the ERP, was selective for targets. However, the difference was that then when the non-targets overlapped the cues, what we saw was retrieval mainly of the non-target memories. So reinstatement was selective for non-targets. This suggests to us that there are two different stages at play in the way that we're able to retrieve or not retrieve the events that we're looking to retrieve, and that both the external cues in the environment and the way that we manage our internal goals are both important determinants of memory. If I had to define the BIAL Foundation's approach to funding science, I would say flexibility because of the great diversity of projects that they fund, but also because of the way that they were able to support us during the COVID pandemic when everything was more complicated than usual.